SharePoint 2010 Training. Part 14. Adding and using the Content Editor web part. By the end of this video, users will be able to explain the potential issues with HTML script content editing, add the Content Editor web part to a page, modify the Content Editor web part to use widgets, and embed HTML or scripted widgets and/or videos. So we're going to talk a little bit about HTML coding and how you can do HTML coding on your SharePoint site. There are a couple of different ways that you can do it, and you start the same for either way. You simply get to the page that you want to be on, go up here to the edit button, and click on that, and that'll bring up the toolbar. Now you'll notice that if you click anywhere on a page, that you can come up here to where it says HTML, and you can edit the HTML source. And when you do that, you're going to get your HTML window like this. Now each one of these div tags right here separates out the various web parts that you have on your page. So it's a good idea not to mess around with those a whole lot. But you can work around those if you want to straight up put HTML code onto this frame. Now, for most people, what they're going to want to do, though, is they're going to want to go ahead and work inside of a content editor. And the way that you do that is you simply find the place on your page where you actually want to put your content editor web part so that your HTML code is condensed, and you would go up. So I'm going to click down here, and then I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to say Insert. Going to click on where it says web part. I'm going to go down to where it says media and content, and I'm going to go to the content editor, and then I'm going to add that. Now that'll add a web part that will allow me to do HTML coding inside of a specified space. So in order to add a widget or add other HTML content to this content editor, you simply come down here to the content editor, and you go to where it says edit web part. You scroll down on the page until you get to where the content editor is down here. You click inside of the box right there, and then you can go to where it says format text, and you can go into edit HTML source. In the HTML source, you can paste in your script that you got. I got mine here from going to widgetbox.com and going to this day in history, and this is what the widget will look like. I went ahead and I said get widget, and here's the actual code that I used. So you simply just go ahead and copy that, and then you go back to your page, you paste it in, and you say OK. It'll say the HTML source you entered may have been modified. It always says that when you put stuff in. Sometimes there are occasional problems with putting in scripted code into SharePoint. That's one of its limitations. It'll strip out the actual scripted pieces. But if you're working on Internet Explorer, it doesn't happen as much as if you're in other browsers. Then you simply come up here and you hit OK. And you can see that as I scroll down, I now have this day in history widget right down here on my page, and you can see that it does have today's date on it, and it will continue to update on the new days. And so that's kind of how you put in a widget. This isn't exactly the place that I would want a widget and stuff, but remember that you can go in and edit the page, and you can move these things around. If you want to get rid of this content editor, you just select your little drop down right there, edit the web part, and you can grab the little drop down right there and just go to where it says delete, and that will delete the content editor web part from this page. And that's how you can go in and insert widgets or other HTML code that you might want to do where you would want to have it in a confined space. So there you go.